never get born. I'm loading my strap, they calling law. Fuck around your clap, for running your jaw. If it ain't about the dollars, then it don't make sense. Got me sipping brown water, but it ain't from Flint. Trying to chase all this bread, though the shit won't last. About to shut the city down like a crypto crash. Stacking my coins.
Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood. We're doing a special off the chain tonight. We got, man, the markets are going crazy. BSV, we're going to talk about that. It's pretty much going to be the main topic tonight. Of course, if any of these callers have anything else to put in, for sure we'll get on that. But yeah, we're going to talk about this market. It's going crazy. I think it's kind of the halving effect is starting to kick in finally. And so we're going to talk to my man MMG Invest, my man Laszlo from MMG Invest. He's been around the block for a while in this crypto game. I've had him on my channel before. I think, Laszlo, you've been on my channel before. I know I've been on yours.
Yeah, we've done this a few times.
Yeah, we've done this a few times. So we're gonna do that here in a second. The real James says it's a bubble. We'll talk about that. We also have someone on the line already, so we're gonna get him in right away. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We're going to start here in about 2 minutes.
I'm old school, Beretta, eye on the sparrow. I told you, make moves, nigga, stack the dinero. Make the world go round, you better get some. I don't know about you, me and my friends. The digital circuitry to circulate this currency. Move it with urgency, cause it's straight trying to murder me. Prefer I be in my grave while they out searching. Celebrating with my coins, niggas out here searching. Nah, I'ma wash them with some Tide detergent. You are fucking with the wrong person. For the coins, some people come up with all kind of schemes. Silly niggas for the paper doing anything.
So the halving is coming up in.
Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Stacking my coin.
Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Okay. All right, people. Welcome to another episode. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to do it live. Laszlo, man, what's good?
It's going, baby. It's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a rally going on, man. So we'll talk about tonight whether or not we think it's sustainable. I have my thoughts about it. I'm sure you do as well. You've been a trader for a while. How many years have you been trading?
While actively, probably 7 or 8, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So you've been around the block. You kind of understand these markets, and so we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. Just the crypto market in general. And really what I really want to focus on, if we can, is this BSV. I had a couple BSV shields come in the chat, my comments today, man, in my video. They were like, I told you. I'm like, man, I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced with this rally in BSV. I think, and we'll get into the details, but I think this whole Craig Wright thing is, he has not come through yet on anything in the past. So I'm just like, why would this time be any different? So we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and take this caller, though, that's been waiting on the line here. Call on the line. Thanks for holding. How are you tonight?
Good, CB. How you doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, man. I'm just calling in, man. It's my first time calling into your show. I've been watching the show for quite a few weeks now. I like what you're doing. This market, man, I'm watching this thing right now, and I'm looking at the top 100 crypto market cap.
Okay.
And if you click the change 24 hours, you'll notice a little thing here. So Bitcoin SV up 103%, right? But if you look down, you got Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin Diamond. So I'm like, really? So it's just like, all right, so anything with the name Bitcoin is pumping, right?
Any altcoin with the name Bitcoin in it is just going bananas right now.
I mean, like Bitcoin Diamond and Bitcoin Gold. I'm like, for real? Like, really? So I'm like, I mean, I'm not a hater, man. Like Bitcoin SV. I mean, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin SV, but
I'm not gonna hate.
If you're a good trader right now, you're getting that money right now because that coin is up a lot. So if you're taking profits on that, congratulations to you. You know.
Listen, the thing is, I'm not hating either. Anyone that was in it, you know, I can't give you financial advice, right? But it's probably good to take a little bit off the table because to see a almost 400% rally in a few days is phenomenal in this environment that we're in right now.
Hey, think about it this way: for 2 years, it's been a bear market, and some bag holders are definitely gonna, you know, dump their coins.
Exactly. So
yeah, it would kind of be dumb not to because, you know, this market could easily go down overnight again, just as much as it went up, you know. I mean, like Bitcoin SV is number 4 right now, can drop easily back to 10.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to drop that fast. Like, only way I see it dropping that fastly to the point where it's back to number 10 is if we see, like, you know, news come out that says, oh, he doesn't have the keys or whatever. Then it's going to go to hell. It's going to go lower than where it was because it was already a premium.
And I think that's what the big news is right now. There's some like court document that's going to get released that I guess supposedly claims has access. I didn't read it thoroughly, but apparently this court document is supposed to prove something that, you know, he has coins, Bitcoins or something. I got to read into it, so don't take my word for that. But
he's trying to get a patent on Bitcoin. Like copyright. He wants intellectual property rights on the white paper, on Satoshi's white paper. Now, okay, so let's talk about like the past, right? Where did Craig Wright even come from? Right? He was some professor supposedly, and he's friends with you know,
even his doctorate is a little questionable from what I hear.
Right, that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, and here's the thing.
Richard Hart recently called him out at one of these conferences, and Richard Hart also pointed out that he had some of his old research papers that used to be posted online, which like pretty much sucked from like the peers that reviewed his academic research. And yeah, he deleted all that stuff offline, but apparently his academic background wasn't that good from what I heard.
That's the stuff I'm talking about. And then I remember, I don't know, Laszlo, if you remember this, but there was a point where Craig Wright put some code up. Like he was coding in some class or something, and he put some code up, and like coders were like, why are you doing your variables, declaring your variables like this? This is like amateur stuff. So it's just like consistently over and over again evidence that lends toward him not being Satoshi. Now this does not mean that he doesn't have, you know, half of this or all of this 8.9 billion. This
okay.
Been,
well, wait. Never forget when he was on the news in Australia, right? He was gonna prove that he had the keys to the Satoshi's wallet, right? And he was gonna move some coins, but then he never did it. Something went wrong or something, even with the video for when he was on the news. But not just that. What are his relations with Satoshi from back in the day, with the cyberpunks and all that, right?
I don't think there is a relationship with the cypherpunks.
No, he was in the chat forums, I believe.
Okay,
wasn't he? He says he was.
Caller, do you know anything about that?
I don't, but I mean, I'll keep it simple here. If you're saying you Satoshi, move a coin from one of your wallets, right? I mean, like if you're Satoshi, move a coin or send a digitally signed signature and prove it's you, right?
Say. You don't even have to move.
You know,
a coin.
like it's that
just
simple,
sign
right?
A message. Right.
Right. That's what he was trying to do in that news op-ed, that he was going to prove that he could sign the message, but then he didn't do it. Now, my question is, how much of a psychopath is he? Did he have any involvement, or this entire time he's a fraud, right? Now, here's the thing. He just got his the keys to the wallet, right? He
supposedly,
right.
Yeah.
Supposedly,
allegedly.
Now, why in the hell would Satoshi create a trust with the keys to a 1 million Bitcoin wallet. That to me sounds insane. Satoshi would never do that. You're never supposed to give away your keys.
Yeah, wouldn't you just create like a multi-sig wallet where you would need, you would use your own code and philosophy, right, to lock it up? So you would need
you make
more
a
than
contract.
2 signatures.
You just make a contract that time releases the keys to yourself.
Exactly. That's what
you wanted to do that, right? No, why would you lock it up?
This whole thing is crazy.
No, I think
this whole thing is crazy. I mean, hate him or love him, for Bitcoin SV to pop number 4 in the market cap, I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, like, that just goes to show you you gotta love crypto, right? I mean, anything can happen.
Pure speculation, absolutely. It's just it's crazy, man. And you know, when you have and I know Laszlo can attest to this. These markets are thinly traded.
Right.
So
it doesn't take much.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. So to see it go from number 10 to number 4 didn't take that actual number of dollars for that to actually happen. It didn't take that much money to move it.
That. It's on like some small shit exchanges now because Binance removed it, right?
Well, yeah, they've got beef, right? So
they removed them, and quite a few other exchanges removed them. But I think also too with Bitcoin SV, I don't think it's on any exchanges where you can actually short the coin. I haven't seen any out there.
Yeah, that's important, because if you can't, then you're going to have these type of parabolic moves as well. You can't keep things in check. I mean, because I did notice that, because like it's not even on BitMEX or any of the other. No, it's not on BitMEX. You're right.
It's just on Bitfinex.
And like, look, people, I'm not trying to sound like a hater at all. Like I said, if you were able to, build a base in this BSV, and you're up 400% I would take it as a blessing in disguise, whether or not he's Satoshi or not. So I'm not saying that, but I never looked at the coin simply because of who was related to it, who was involved with it. That was enough for me to stay away. The scandal between him and Roger Ver and trying to take over the hash rate of Bitcoin Cash, and then he had that video, right, threatening when his tulip whatever gets released, he's going to dump the Bitcoins, right, and then pump his own coin, and then he said he had some sort of secret. Yep, I remember that, with
the code screwing over Bitcoin Core. Yeah. Right, which...
but remember, he said that he was supposed to release that last year. That was supposed to be revealed. And so that's what I'm saying. It's just a pattern, people, that I'm concerned with it. I just don't believe anything he says. He sounds like a pathological liar.
Right. The only thing I'm curious about is why is it even pumping in the first place? So the volume, most of the volume is on B-Box. And then second is OKX. The volume is it's actually 717 million, which not really, but you know what I mean. That's how much moved in the past 24 hours, which I highly doubt.
That's what I'm saying. It
and then
wasn't that much.
Right. I mean, you know these exchange volumes. It's completely. It's not real, right? It's like 100 times it by 100. And it's basically divided by 1, right? And that's the real volume. So maybe 7 million.
I heard. Well, I remember hearing back in 2017, people were saying like 50 to 1.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's 100 to 1 or 50 to 1. And that's the real volume. But I'm looking at this. So number 1 volumes on B-Box, then OKX, then Huobi, and then a bunch of other small ones. Bitfinex is all the way down at 18, and it only has 130 million volume for today, which it's number 18. So it's not getting pumped on Bitfinex. It's getting pumped on these smaller exchanges, right?
Yeah.
So
you know what's funny? I wonder if like Binance will ever put Bitcoin SV back on their platform, or if it will eventually make it to Coinbase if it's keeping up this strength. You know, like let's just say because it almost came close to overtaking Ripple. It was about $2 billion off.
I saw that.
Right, it almost came up to number 3. So I'm wondering now, like if Bitcoin SV can keep up this momentum and stay consistent. I wonder if the bigger exchanges will eventually list it. You know.
Do you think that's going to happen though? How long do you think this rally? I want to know, when is he supposed to report this trust over to the court in Florida? Because the court in Florida was literally about to hold him with contempt. He was lying in court, bro. They had him on multiple lies, and the judge was like, I should put you in jail. That's how much he was lying. So I'm just.
I mean, it's sad to say. It seems like lying pays nowadays, right? You lie about anything, and you become a multi-billion-dollar coin, right? Sadly.
Or a rapper, Tekashi 6ix9ine. He's got a $10 million deal waiting for him for snitching.
Is he still on Twitter?
Exactly.
Is Craig Wright still on Twitter?
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna show this article really quickly out of Cointelegraph that kind of goes over the whole situation. If I'm sure most of you know, but really what the whole thing about what's going on with this rally is that essentially Craig Wright told the court today that he has received the keys to access the $8.9 billion crypto fortune called the Tulip Trust. Man. So I don't know when he's supposed to send these keys over, or how he's gonna do it or whatnot. But I just don't believe it, man. I'm sorry. I just do not believe it.
I don't know. He's probably just pumping the price because he's going to come out with some, more BS. He's going to say something like he's going to do this, do that. But, if this is all okay, listen, it's one or the other. There is no in between at this point. He's either a psychopath or there's something behind it, right? Or he really is. Hey, listen,
okay. So let me ask you this, and my man on the phone. What if he? Okay, so there's two things. Just because it doesn't have to be mutually. These things can be mutually exclusive. Meaning, he could have the keys to this Tulip Trust and the 8.9 billion, and still not be Satoshi Nakamoto. Right?
Well, no.
You don't think so? So if it comes out that he has actual keys, you think that he's Satoshi Nakamoto?
Well,
that's a good question, because he could have, the keys could have been given to him, or he could have stole the keys. Who knows? He could be Satoshi. Who knows? But just the way he's acting and the way he's contradicting himself when he speaks. It's saying otherwise. But
see, that's what I was trying to say before. Is there any reason for him to even come up with all of this? Was he a part of maybe the group, right? The cypherpunks, right? If he was a part of it, then that would give him the audacity to try to steal it all, right?
So I don't know. Yeah,
but if he gets his hands on the keys, at that point, everyone has to shut up, and the maximalists are going to be spiraling. But which would be funny. I think it would be hilarious, but the price will massively dump. And I don't think
that won't be a good thing.
Right. I don't think
like if he did own the keys and he sold the coins off to them, even any little coin movement from the Satoshi wallets, I think it would panic the market.
Oh, it would panic the market. It would take all this back and some.
Yeah, it would be nasty. It would be a bloodbath for sure.
It would be the worst bloodbath we've seen in this crypto game. I agree.
Is he still on Twitter? Can you look? Because
no, Jizzy Mac in the chat room. Thanks, Jizzy Mac. He said that he quit Twitter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did he block me? Which I wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah, right. So, it just doesn't make sense, man. And so back to what my question is. So let's say that he does have these keys. Does that conclusively, make him Satoshi Nakamoto? Like, is that the one piece of evidence that you need? I
think a lot of people still won't accept it, so it won't matter. The only thing
that's true. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be in a denial. I mean, whether if he's Satoshi or not, if he has the keys, he has the keys, you know. And if he can prove that, then yeah, that's going to shut a lot of people up.
Right, but
I'll be one of those in the denial camp, because if he does have the keys, I'm just going to say, well, he was just an early adopter, and he and his business partner, you know, mined a lot of coins, which they did have a mining operation with a third guy, by the way. And I did a video about this last year. This story came out, and it was a really intriguing story about this. I don't know if he was Russian, Ukrainian, I don't know where he was from over there in that area, but it was this third person that he was like he wasn't a terrorist, but he was like one of those like 007 guys. He had like multiple aliases and stuff, and one of his aliases it wasn't Satoshi Nakamoto, but it was like a variant of that. And he went to jail. I think he's in jail for life, I believe.
Right. I mean, the feds would definitely, if they found out who it was, they would take him. They would.
But Craig Wright supposedly was friends with this guy that I'm talking about, that may be the true Satoshi. So, like I said, right. I think he could have just had a lot of Bitcoin, and that doesn't make you Satoshi. That doesn't make you the person that created the code.
You know what, though? Craig Wright is in that club, that like elite club of crypto people. You know what I'm talking about? So he does have connections with the major players and whales. That doesn't mean he has the keys. Now, if he did have the keys, right, and he can move one coin, yeah, I really don't care what anyone thinks, but I would take things that he says a little more seriously, especially if he says there's a bug, right? I mean, there wasn't an inflation bug in Bitcoin like a year and a half ago or something like that. Yep. But listen, guys, I mean, this is all speculation. I don't care until I see a coin move, right? Or he could sign the signature. Then you start taking this seriously.
So this is the guy I'm talking about here. This is the real Satoshi Nakamoto, supposedly. Paul Leroux. I guess I'm saying that correctly. Criminal mastermind. So this to me, and I reported on this, Laszlo, when this came out. To me, this was the best and most believable story that I've heard about Satoshi. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, Paul Leroux, man, he was he was truly a mastermind. If there's also a book called The Mastermind, which is based on Paul Leroux. Very good book for those interested in that. I mean, it's a very good book. I would get the Audible version. But yeah, Paul Leroux, I mean, he was a computer scientist. He wrote some encryption software. I forgot what it was called, but I think TrueCrypt might have been developed by him, but I'm not sure. I don't know if you ever used TrueCrypt, but that was very popular for a while there. E4M. Yeah, so this guy was like the real deal. I mean, unfortunately, in his story, I mean, he took a turn for the worse with his crime syndicate and often people left and right out in the Philippines. But yeah, that's definitely a good book. But is he Satoshi? I don't know. I doubt it.
Really? Even with the alias?
Yeah.
You think that the group just took his one of his aliases to make up this Satoshi Nakamoto thing? Is that what you think?
I'm not sure, man, but I don't think it's Paul Leroux.
Wait,
who knows? I mean, again, everything's speculation.
Where is he now?
He's in jail, right?
How old is he?
Yeah, he's in U.S. I think he's in the U.S. right now serving time. But he, like Tekashi, he snitched out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He turned super snitch in the quote from the article. Is you guys will see on the screen. I got it highlighted.
What's his birthday? I can't see it. Is it 1962?
1982 looks like. Yeah, December 24th, 1982.
He's not that old.
No, that was a fake ID though.
Oh yeah, he does have many aliases.
Yeah, that was a fake one. He's in his 50s. He's in his 50s.
All right.
And the thing is, Craig Wright knows this guy.
Really?
Because he filed a motion of protective order against him. That's what I'm saying.
That doesn't mean he knows him. That just
come on, man.
That just means he could do that. He could file that motion and what he could,
But this was long. This is way back. This is like not anything new because he's
Oh,
been in
really?
jail. Yeah, the guy's been in jail for like how long has he been in jail, caller? Like 10
Probably
years?
probably for the last
5
2 years, I believe, about a year or
5
two.
years.
Not that long.
No, he went
just
to
got
jail
caught
right.
back in 16 or 17, didn't he? It was like 2 or 3 years ago, I believe.
The thing that was compelling about this story is the fact that he disappeared right after he went silent, right after the white paper was published. You know, it's just like weird, man. There's a lot of weird stuff. And again, Craig Wright, from what this article, and I dropped it in the chat room for you guys to check out.
That's actually so. I never looked into this guy because I stopped paying attention to all of these because it seems like every month there's a new Satoshi.
I know.
But, so I stopped paying attention. But that actually is a good story. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem made up.
No, it was pretty well. If it was made up, it was written really well.
So if that guy maybe was the real Satoshi, and then Craig got the keys from him, maybe or something, you never know, right? And then
what's the book called, caller?
It's
That
called
he wrote?
the Mastermind. Yeah, it's called the Mastermind. It was written by I think by a journalist. He pretty much did all the research for the whole LaRue thing, what he was doing out in the Philippines and everything. But yeah, really good book.
Okay, I'm gonna drop a link for everyone to check that out.
I'm not gonna lie, if I was Satoshi and I made Bitcoin and it started going up in value and gaining traction, I would move somewhere like there, right? The Philippines.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you can easily especially during the time he was here too. During that time, it was very easy to pay off
Wait,
politicians and
is this
cops
real?
and all that type of stuff.
Right. It's more freedom there, right? And is this Rue guy British by any chance?
No.
He's from I think he was born in Zimbabwe, and then I think he went to South Africa, and I think he's kind of bounced around the world there. But I think he's from somewhere in Africa, I believe.
Right, South Africa though, that is more traditional English and British. And then
Correct.
remember
French.
Remember a lot of people did analysis on the way that Satoshi talked, and it was British.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
so that kind of matches up a little bit. So
yeah, I'm trying to find this one part. Oh, this is why this even came out. This is crazy. So the reason why this whole LaRue guy even came up is because in the Craig Wright court case in Florida, there were some articles that were presented, right? Well, the person that was preparing the articles that was supposed to redact certain things forgot to redact this guy's name. It was supposed to be redacted.
Oh, it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Why was it there anyways, right? What?
That's what I'm saying. Like Craig Wright and Klein, and they knew this guy. I'm telling you.
Right. See, so that's what I'm trying to say. Is Craig Wright completely out of his mind?
He's out of his mind.
Psychopath?
Yeah.
But or there is something behind all of this.
Well, okay.
Not just that. Craig Wright does have money.
Yeah, no doubt. No, what I'm saying is,
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of money. That's for sure.
Right,
I definitely believe that.
To make
I mean,
that-
the way the story's unfolding, though, I mean, it's definitely entertaining. I mean, like it's not a dull moment one bit with this guy. I mean, honestly, I believe Satoshi Nakamoto's dead. I mean, like I think he died a long time ago, but I mean, who knows?
I'm not gonna lie.
It seems like the way with Satoshi wrote on the forums, it seems like he didn't want to be, he wanted to be, anonymous. Or go by a pseudonym, It seems like he didn't want to be found,
What's your name? I keep calling you. I don't want to call you caller. What's your name?
Bobby Rock.
Bobby. So Bobby, look, man, he's either dead or he's in jail, right?
Yeah, I mean,
right, and Craig might have known him and is trying to take all of the thing.
Exactly.
I don't think Craig is actually a psychopath, or well, maybe he is, right? But that doesn't mean he's stupid, right?
No, he's not stupid.
Right. So he has something. I think he has something, and if it's the freaking keys, I mean, I've listened to him, and he's kind of funny, and he's definitely a huge asshole dick, which I kind of like too. But just funny. But
So
I don't know.
From this article, here are the top 10 clues that LaRue may be the person that built Bitcoin. So it says a curious Satoshi / Salochi moniker. So one of his aliases was Salochi. Okay.
Who's that?
That was just one of his aliases.
Okay.
Number 2 was both were programmers familiar with C++. Both had a strong interest in cryptography and privacy. Both were wary of authority. Both had an interest in online gambling. Both were well aware of the difficulty with traditional payment systems. The rule on account of the illegal prescription drug racket he was running. Satoshi's spelling and language analysis, color defense, bloody hard, quote unquote, is consistent with LaRue's.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Satoshi disappeared in early 2011 to move on to other things. Around the same time, LaRue was transitioning from software genius to cartel boss. I'm telling you, man, when I covered this, I was like, man, this is the most compelling one I've heard.
That is the most compelling one I've heard too. And well, that's not good though if it's true, because the feds are gonna love hearing that he was a cartel. Satoshi was a criminal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you're
the feds
right. I mean,
already know.
the government definitely wants to look for ways to shit on Bitcoin. You know, it's not good if Satoshi was indeed a criminal. That wouldn't be good at all for crypto.
Well, I mean,
it wouldn't matter. It would be a bad PR for a minute, but it wouldn't matter.
right.
I mean, regular people.
In the
long
long
as-
run, yeah, I believe that too. I mean, crypto's here to stay regardless. But you know, the government's always looking for ways to
Scare
to water down crypto.
Scare the sheeple. They
Well,
wanna
here's
keep
the thing.
sheeple away.
They're all creating their own central bank cryptos now, and they don't like competition. So I see later down the road when there's going to be a huge financial global reset coming very soon. And that's my main theory and reason why I believe cryptos are going to go back into a bull market. It'll be because of capital flight. And they're not going to like that. Will they be able to stop it? I don't know. So right now, I feel
Speaking
like...
of which, I think there's something going on in Venezuela right now too, right? I mean, I heard Venezuela's doing some shady stuff over there, and that they're saying that could be a cause too of what's causing the run, partially, I guess. But
there isn't any money there, though. They're broke.
Dash is up quite a bit. Wasn't Dash a Bitcoin in Venezuela?
Yes.
Was that a Bitcoin out there, or was it Litecoin?
Yeah,
I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah,
but.
Dash. Dash has a heavy, a big community out there in Venezuela.
You see, what I'm worried about is this is just another whale cartel pump of numerous coins, get everyone in prior to the halvening, and then sell on them.
Oh, of course.
Turn into a bull trap, and then it'll then you could blame it on buy the rumor, sell the fact prior to the halvening.
Yeah.
Which I think is more than likely what's going to happen. But we'll make a higher low on the weekly and monthly, so that sets us up for the next few years to go into another bull market as the global financial system starts faltering, as it really is, because the repo market and all this is nuts. It's just out of the insanity that's going on right now.
Yeah, repo is going crazy right now. So, Bobby, what are your thoughts, man, as far as where we go from here? Do you think we head higher? We haven't even really gone over TA yet. We can take a look at that, too, in a second, Laszlo.
I mean, I'm positive, man. I like seeing upward momentum, man. We need it, because we kind of went through a little slump there after summertime, after that with the OK coin scam or whatever happened back, when that big scam happened. So, I mean, it's nice to see it go back up. I mean, but if you look, if you go back a little bit further, what's it, November 18? I mean, if you remember, Bitcoin was what, 3,000 a coin back in just a year ago, or was it 4,000? So, I mean, it's nice to be up, more than half.
But you
But
our
I think right now it's really good to see altcoins running now because I think this is the biggest time we've seen altcoins run since early 18.
But it's because they're the major fundamental news that's driving the market is based on or surrounding an altcoin. So you see what I'm saying? So if it was Bitcoin that was the subject at hand or the center of attention, I wonder how the altcoins would have reacted.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, there's no logic in this market, unfortunately. I mean, anything can move it, whether China's talking trash or Craig Wright or an exchange gets hacked or somebody just says something stupid. It's just like anything can move the market, So we'll see, man. Enjoy the ride, right?
There you go. Enjoy the ride for sure. I think.
Well, here's the thing. There's just so much hot money flowing right now into all the equity markets, and they're literally, if you look at Apple, it looks like a shitcoin. It's gone straight vertical. So have all the major
Tesla, man.
Listen, it's
Tesla.
It's literally 90-degree angle price action. It's just like 2017 crypto at this point in the equities markets. So that's going to correct very soon, I believe. And some of that, it doesn't take much money from that market to come into the crypto market because it's in a bear market, right?
Yep.
So speculators might actually look at Bitcoin and crypto and metals, right? Because they have been in a bear market. Meanwhile, everything else is pretty much in a bubble. So just from a speculator's perspective, you might want to asset rotate into something that's coming out of a bear market, just based off of speculation, right? So
yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, like crypto, crypto is like a trader's wet dream. I mean, it's just like you can get 400% in a couple hours. I mean, like,
listen, man,
like the game is so much bigger in crypto. If you want to speculate, like crypto is definitely better than equities. You can get so much bigger gains. But then the double-edged sword to that, you could take some huge losses too. But
yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like crypto. If you're a speculator, I like crypto better, honestly, than equities.
No, wait, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Crypto was great for trading until the Bart Simpson pump and dumps.
Oh
right?
my god,
that wrecked all the traders. So listen, that was very not good for crypto.
It's still going on too.
See, that's the problem, right? Because I stopped trading Bitcoin. I was like, screw this. I'm just gonna trade gold.
That's the most abnormal, unnatural pattern to see in markets. That Bart Simpson stuff. What the hell is? I've never seen anything like that until it's fairly new. It started like in 2017.
No, it started in late 2018.
Late 17 going to 18. Yeah, something like that.
Not even no. It started like spring of 2018.
Was it that late?
Yeah, it was that late, and going into this year or 2019. So here's the thing. I mean, a lot of the speculators got wrecked in crypto. They really did, and that's why this bear market's been so long. And the speculation, it's all speculation short term. And short term could be literally 6 months to even a year or whatever. But listen, the market cap of Bitcoin, as it grows in size, the manipulation becomes smaller. But listen, the market's still very, very tiny.
Still small.
Yeah, I mean, they still the banks still manipulate gold, right? A little bit here and there. And that's a 7-8 trillion size market cap. Bitcoin's like it's like, what is it? 100 and some, 200 billion, somewhere around there. Yeah. And that's
160 roughly.
Right, and that's inflated, and the market cap is inflated.
That is right.
Listen, guys, it does not take much. I could take a couple $1,000,000 and go on Shitmax, right? And put some leverage on it and literally move the price of Bitcoin with a few mil. Like, you could do it. I'm telling you. So and then there's Tether. I don't even want to get back into it. So I I just
So-
look at. I only
That
like
shouldn't even be
looking.
on a. That shouldn't even be on a list, in my opinion. They shouldn't put stable coins on the list, but
Right.
they do.
I only like to
Well,
look
you
at
got
Bitcoin
to, Bobby,
now.
because it's added liquidity. So you got it, and it does have an impact on the market. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it has the most volume out of any coin, right? I mean,
Right,
it's what 58
right.
in volume. I mean,
Right.
yeah, you're right about that. I mean,
Listen,
I
take it.
like when I'm looking at this list, I'm just thinking crypto and not, stable coin. So, just to see this on here, I'm just like, okay, but no, I get what you're saying.
This is my advice, not financial advice, but this is my advice. I only like looking at the larger time frames now for Bitcoin, from the daily, 3-day, and the weekly, and the monthly. All right, and then trade those time frames. Anything smaller, you're just gonna get wrecked, especially if you use margin, right? I mean, if you don't use margin, yeah, why not? But if you use margin, you're just gonna get annihilated with these, with the volatility and the Bart Simpson pump and dumps. So,
Well, I mean, with my algo, I adjusted my algo earlier middle of last year, to kind of take into consideration these flatline periods. And so what I was going to say about, equities or traditional asset markets, trading those versus Bitcoin or cryptos, is that this is the thing. It's good when it's volume. When there's no volume, you can't make money, and you end up losing money. And so it's like, we don't know. Like if we have another year like 2018, I can't sustain trading these markets like that if it's 2018, because it was just flatline. Like toward the end, going into 2019, it was just flatline all the way to like 2019, all the way up to July of 2019, purely just dead.
right.
So in traditional markets, you won't have that. You may not get, like, I trade FX as well. I would love to get 10% move in one day. Like a 1% move in FX is like, I'm Gucci. I've made some real good money.
but you're also leveraged. Like,
Yeah, I'm leveraged, but
You
you
have
have
to
to
be.
be leveraged here too, right? So
I hate trading currencies. I once had an algo that traded currencies and it did great for a while and then blew up. But well, right now I'm looking at Bitcoin price on Google Trends and it's trending down again. I'm looking at the 12-month. Let's take a look at a 3-month. Anyways,
so Bobby, yeah, man. Any last thoughts? We were going to talk about tonight, as well as with Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Peter Schiff a little bit, because it looks like his prediction. Man, he was talking mad stuff leading into the new year, and he's
Peter
gone.
Schiff, he's always talking some trash, man. He's a gold bug, obviously. But I mean, Peter, I don't really pay too much attention to him that much, but yeah. Other than that, man, yeah, I just wanted to call and get my thoughts, man. I'll call in again probably one of your future shows. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Bobby, thanks for calling in.
I like that
All right,
call.
man. Take it easy.
Yeah, caller was really, he's like knowledgeable. He's really on point.
Right, he was
he's really on
a
point.
real good caller. I've never, you don't hear callers that knowledgeable.
See what I'm saying, man? You got to let the callers come in, bro. You can't be scared
Right.
of these guys. I got something for these callers. They want to call in. I just hit them with the shotgun. I hit them with the gun, the M16. I hit them with the, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. We're good.
Right.
But yeah, man. So it was interesting that I just think, I don't know, man. That LaRue guy, to me, and I dropped you a link to it in your Telegram. Maybe you could take a look at that article later on or tomorrow or whatever.
Right, I will.
It's
Because
compelling. It truly. I didn't know there was a book written about him.
right, it doesn't
But-
sound made up.
Nah, man.
You
it
just
doesn't.
can't make up that much.
Nah, it doesn't.
So there's
So-
something behind it,
Yeah, I think so.
which is
So-
scary.
I mean,
If Wright could actually move a coin, that's scary. I'm not saying I'm not expecting it, but I think we'll find out soon.
so let's talk about that. So this is really not a positive move for the markets, but it's taking it that way. Currently, the markets are interpreting this move as in, ooh, Satoshi is the real Satoshi Nakamoto. Craig is the real Satoshi Nakamoto. So let's buy BSV. That's what the market is thinking right now.
Well, no, I don't think so, because Bitcoin was moving before BSV. BSV just moved, right? And
No, it's been moving. It's been outperforming. When did this move started? Maybe like right around
January 20th. I'm looking at the chart right now.
Is it
Or
January?
no, January 10th.
January 10th.
Yeah, it was literally flatlined, and then all of a sudden it just started moving up. I wish I could screen share, but I can't. But I'm looking at the BSV versus dollar chart here, and let's measure how big this move is. It's pretty enormous.
So if I go back 6 months, yeah, I mean it.
No, it moved up 300% since January 10th. I mean, it's only the 14th. I'm looking at a 4-hour chart on BSV.
Yeah. So I mean that makes sense then, because we get the news late. Like Smart Money gets the news about supposedly Craig having the keys or whatnot before it actually hits the press, right?
This is a whale pump. I mean, it's not that they know the news; they create it.
You think so?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. No, what I think is happening here is because Bitcoin's started rallying, right, and started coming out of a bear market. Maybe the whales are like, well, let's hedge our bets and throw some into BSV, pump the price of that, get some hype around it, some news. Maybe Craig threw some money into it, and they pushed up the price. But maybe with the exchanges, who knows? And then it could be a competitor with Bitcoin, or it could rise like Bitcoin Cash did back in the day in 2017, because there's more upside to BSV than Bitcoin, because you're rising from $100. You're not rising from $4,000. So there's market, and that's just that the market cap is tiny. Well, not anymore. Not anymore.
Well, the volume though. The
Right.
volume was tiny. That's
Right.
That's the thing.
There's no one to sell on you.
Right.
So when there's no one to sell, you could easily move up the price 300% in 4 days.
Yep.
So it's a good speculative play, right? And if you're a whale, you could easily move it. But right now I'm looking at the price on the 4-hourly, and it looks like it's wicked back down to 350. Its all-time high was 460. So I don't know. I wouldn't gamble on this because
Vincent Breslin says something interesting. He says the Genesis update on BSV is so Craig can access Satoshi's Bitcoin on BSV. It's all bullshit, bro. If he had the keys, they wouldn't need this update. Interesting.
Right.
I didn't know. I saw something about this Genesis update, but I didn't know what it was all about.
Unless it has something to do with that bug he was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not buying it, people. It's going to end ugly. Just make sure you're not a part of that sell-off in BSV. Take some profits. Like I said, I would take profits if I were in BSV. I don't have any BSV, so I would definitely take profits. Not saying take everything off the table, but at least take something.
Right.
Lock in
some gains. Let a small percentage run, or because you know how these go.
Exactly. John Hill, how much further do you think Bitcoin SV can run? Let us know in the chat room.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I'm looking at Bitcoin's price, and I did some TA today, right? So on the 4-hourly, there's a correction coming up on Bitcoin. But you know what? The larger time frames, from the daily to the weekly to the monthly, we could still see some more upside on Bitcoin. And I think as long as we see upside on Bitcoin, it's gonna raise. The tide's gonna raise all ships. BSV could keep pumping.
Yeah, that's what John Hill just said as well. I don't know. I mean, of course it could. In a scenario like this, what I would do, Laszlo, and you know about this, I would start drawing Fibonacci extensions. That's really because I think we're at all-time highs in BSV, right, or near.
Oh,
I believe.
Let me take a look. Yeah, I'm sure it's all-time high. Oh yeah. Yeah, so, it's definitely all-time high. Its previous all-time high was 250, around there. and it pumped all the way up to.
Yeah, it's all-time high for sure. So at this point, I would start drawing extensions to just see where the next level.
Did it surpass? I think it surpassed Bitcoin Cash.
I don't even know where my fib extension is right now, but that's what I would do just to kind of get a feel for the next area that we could see. Where the hell is my fib extension?
I mean, if you just put it on a weekly chart, it's just one candle straight up. So. Well, that's why I'm saying this is a whale pump. This isn't like there's nothing organic about this. So
well initiated, right? And then the dummies just follow right through with it.
Right. So, take that into account. This isn't like you could really trade it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's number 4 on CoinMarketCap. I mean, I'm happy if it passes Ripple.
You and I both, man. You and I both.
So I don't know. You want to talk about anything else?
Yeah. So let's talk about this gold and it actually kind of moved back, man. Down 4% from its highs. People were getting excited about seeing gold at 16 or near 16. What are your thoughts about gold right now?
Well, let me just tell you, I called it. I literally called it to the day gold was breaking out, and I'm really proud of that. Which was like the beginning of, or towards the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, somewhere around there, right? I think it's difficult, right? It all depends if this market corrects, which is going to correct. So I think there's more upside to gold and silver for the short term, meaning the next few weeks and months. And then there will be a correction to gold and silver. There already has been, some corrections and pullbacks in gold and silver, mainly because of the Iran thing, right? Everyone in the market thinks that the only reason gold rallied was because of war tensions as a safe haven. But that's not correct. The reason gold has been rallying, and so has silver, is because the smart money's been buying because the repo market. I mean, and every central bank's just printing money like it's like, they're just pumping the system full of fiat to keep the house of cards from falling. And that's why the metals have been rising. And listen, I think, like I said, for the short term, there's probably more upside because the market's going to correct. Now, is it going to be the big one? That's the question. So obviously, everything's going 90 degrees in the stock market, like straight up price action. That's unsustainable, right? It's going to run out of momentum and buyers. And the repo market's fueling it. So are they going to just keep pumping it higher and higher? Eventually, honestly, I think everyone's going to take profits like this week. All right. Really? I made the all-time high call 2 weeks ago, which was on the S&P 500 at 3,220. And you know what? I'm still making that call is still good as long as we don't go up another 100 because we're only at like 3,280 on the S&P 500.
What made you pick that level?
Just all my TA and looking at all this, my TA. And not just that. I mean, look at Apple, look at Tesla, look at Microsoft, look at all these. Bro. It's literally at a 9-degree angle, right? And the TD indicator, all my oscillators, just everything is just flashing red. Also, we have earnings coming out soon for financial.
That's going to definitely bring things back to earth.
Right.
It has to.
Right. It has to.
Yep. So PEs are already at 15x.
No, it's insane. Some are at 30, 50p. Like,
wow.
Listen, even if Wall Street, this is what Wall Street thinks. They're like, the Fed's got our back. The market's just.
But they do though, right?
They Laszlo? do. But even then, you can't have a market go straight up, right?
You got to make it. Yeah, you got to make it look believable, right?
Right.
It's got to be WWE. It still has to look believable.
Right. It can't just. Right. There has to be some some.
Oh man,
I
that's
mean,
funny.
you said it perfect. WWE. It has to
Yeah.
look somewhat real.
Right.
But listen, these earnings are in a bear market. They've been in a bear market for like a year now. So, and the market's been ignoring bearish news for over a year, 2 years. Eventually, something's going to happen, right? I mean, it just brushed off World War III for 2 days. The market dipped 400 points overnight and then just shot up straight back up the next day because Trump came out and said everything's well. But listen, these earnings are going to be horrible. They're going to be horrible. And I think that'll, they'll bring reality back to the table. And that's just that. At what point are you going to hold on and not take profits? At first, I was thinking, well, everyone's holding on for the next year so they don't have to pay cap gains tax, right? If you're holding on to these huge gains. So you're going to take profits in January. You want to lock them in. And listen, once this loses momentum, the exit is very, very small. So it's going to look just like the end of 2018. And we'll get a sharp drop. It's not going to be an elevator drop. It's going to be like the doors open and you fell down the elevator shaft. That's what I'm expecting. And I'm dead serious. And
Okay.
But it's not going to be the end of the world crash. It'll be like a 15-20% drop again. Then
just like the end of 2018, right?
Right, and then the PPT comes in, punch protection.
I was just getting ready to ask you.
Fed's going to cut to zero, and then their balance sheet's going to shoot up. Repo operations are just going to explode, and then they'll drive it back up. Will they make new all-time highs? I doubt it. I think it'll be sort of like a giant bull trap type scenario. If you look at the Wall Street cheat sheet, right? And then the elections come into play because they're going to get the markets back up.
We got to keep the markets going for the elections. That's my thing. But I think Trump has really shot himself in the foot with this one, as far as he's really anchoring his success, which the numbers do look good. Even U6 numbers, unemployment numbers, they look great.
They always look great, right?
Until at the top, right?
Yeah,
they always look the best.
Yeah, it's another indicator. Listen, the inverted yield curve, remember that?
Yeah.
Well, there's always a delay, remember?
Yeah. So that's funny you said that. I put a tweet out a few 2 days ago, or maybe a day ago. I put this tweet out on Twitter, and it's exactly what you said. So each inverted yield curve, you'll see us dip below zero, and shortly after, we have recession.
Here's another real great indicator that just came to my attention. It's the commercial and industrial loans that are going out, and they're at all-time lows, and they hit this. They pretty much hit this bottom where every time it's done that, there was a recession preceding it soon after. And it's called like the last 8 recessions. So that's another thing to watch out for. Largest sequential decline for biweekly loans in nearly a decade doesn't appear to be seasonality related. Year-over-year growth rate has fallen to 0.6%. Basically, I mean, listen, all of the indicators are screaming recession. The only reason we're not in it just yet is because of the repo operation.
Repo and they got it in the Fed. Yeah, the repo operation, and they're doing that simply to save face for the presidential.
No, I think they're just so scared to death. What's going to happen is they're actually taking preemptive measures, not like in 2008. 2008 actually caught them off guard. Yes. Yeah, this time around they know, right? And they're not that stupid. People think they're not stupid. They know.
Honestly, it's funny. It's funny that when Trump came out there and started bullying the feds, I personally think that they in their meetings they're like, "Thank God, thank God he's bullying us, because that gives us the cover to do what we wanted to do anyway."
He's gonna get the blame for everything. He's gonna own this, and it's hilarious. In 2016, he was speaking the truth about the markets. It's a big, fat, ugly bubble.
And then he got in office.
Right. And he's going to be like a huge fall guy. He's going to own this.
Yep, sure is.
And I don't know if that's planned or what. He knows it too, right? So
He's got to know. Man, he's got to know it.
no, he knows it. I
He's
know
got to know it.
he actually slipped up in one interview. They asked him about the national debt, and he said he'll just default on it. But on foreign lenders, which is fine. I think actually that's the best thing to do. But here's okay. Looking at this in a big picture, the Fed screwed up. They popped their own bubble when they were raising interest rates. The only reason they were raising interest rates was so they had more ammo for the next recession. But in doing so, they popped their own bubble. Trump was actually right tweeting about at the Fed, like, hey, stop raising interest rates. Let's go back to QE and all that. Because, listen, it's a giant Ponzi scheme.
Yep.
They have to keep they have to keep going with it. There's no other alternative.
Wow, damn. Look, Andy King, my guy Andy King said forward PEs are 20x right now.
Right. It's insane. And Wall Street knows what's going on. They're just going along with it. They're like they're drunk on the Kool-Aid. But it's sad because everyone's retirements just. But here's another thing, though. I mean, if we get it gets real complicated, right? Because the Fed didn't just create a Ponzi scheme for Wall Street and the entire U.S. economy. It's global. It's now global.
Man.
And there's this. So the Fed is walking a tightrope. All right. So the world is demanding dollars because they have to fund all the loans they took out in dollars. Mm-hmm. And then it's insane. I mean, the Fed and every other central bank is stuck with the printing presses on. If they stop, we get the 1930s style Great Depression. If they don't stop,
we get the Zimbabwe.
Well,
the hyperinflation, right?
Eventually, because government debts all around the world will just explode, and so will corporate debt and everything. So I don't know how this ends. The world's never seen anything
so complicated.
Like it.
Yep, there's so many moving parts that go around.
There's a fight between hyperinflation and 1930s Great Depression.
Deflation, yeah.
What the central banks are hoping for is Japanese style stagflation for like the next few
20
decades.
Years.
Right. While they're alive.
Yeah.
But they can't keep this going because at some point the debt will destroy the real global economy.
Yeah. So again, guys, this chart that I put up on Twitter, I'm putting arrows next to each time the interest rates kind of went negative or inverted. And you see every time. And this is the last time we had this situation. Now we're going through the whole repo market stuff now because of the inverted yield curves and tightening of lending in the markets. But if you guys look here, you will see these red zones are recessions. Each one is a recession. That was a 2000 bubble, and then here's the 08 crisis right here. Every time. So it's coming.
Right, and the reason it's so accurate is because the Fed tries to raise interest rates prior to normalize them, right? Because you have to normalize them. If you don't, then you start destroying the economy. And they do it every time. They try to normalize interest rates, then they prick their own bubble, and here we are. That's why it's the most accurate indicator for a recession. Because they created this business model. In a free market, which we haven't had since 1913, you wouldn't have the real market would set the interest rates, not some, bureaucrat. Listen, the Fed funds the Federal Reserve funds all the banks and the government and creates these giant business cycles, which create bubbles that grow our economy artificially. The problem is they always pop because they're artificial, not organic, and it's a disaster. And the disasters are going to become larger and larger. This time around, I don't know if this disaster will. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but there's always the fear of it destroying like Western civilization.
I'm curious this go around how things look in the crypto markets, because the last oh wait, we didn't have crypto. And so it's just going to be interesting. I mean, we may see gains that just shocking off.
Right. My question is, are they going to try to stop it, the regulators?
Yes, absolutely. They can, and that's what I was telling people. I've been telling people this for so long, bro. Like, we haven't seen governments, at least in Western civilization, we haven't seen governments truly go after Bitcoin and cryptos. You will know they will do stuff like shut Coinbase down.
Well, I mean, they're already talking about it, and they have with money laundering laws. They've been cracking down. That's another reason why we're in this bear market. It's not free anymore. It's not free market anymore. China's already cracked down on crypto, and look what happened. I truly believe China started the 2017 bull market with capital flight, and they've cracked down, and they've successfully cracked down. So that's what's worrying me. Now, here's the thing. If there's like a Mad Max scenario where then yeah, I mean, they can't stop it at that point, and people will be using it. But I don't want that to happen,
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Or maybe I do. I would like a controlled demolition and crash of like the entire system, so I have time to I don't know, prepare, right? And then get some gains from crypto and metals, this and that. And then if it falls into a Mad Max scenario, at least I went out and I bought everything I needed.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see how this plays out, because my whole thing is, if Craig Wright, Fake Toshi, does have the keys to the city, that's not a good thing for this market, other than maybe BSV. Because he's gonna dump, and the Klein family may dump as well. They're gonna liquidate some of that money. They're not gonna just leave that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That type of money, I think you do typically go over the counter with. So, but right, like you said, it's crazy.
If he's smart and he wants to lock in as much gains as humanly possible, he would go over counter, right? And he would slowly liquidate his Bitcoins. And the market would dump initially, and it'd be a significant dump, but then it would probably recover slowly. And he might want to do this right during the halving, as the price has gone up on Bitcoin, and then he starts liquidating, and then the price will dump, and then you know what I'm saying. He's timing this out if he really does have the keys and he can move it, which I don't know. I doubt it, but listen,
we'll have to see.
You're right. We'll make another
Let's see
video.
if we can get one more caller in, guys. If you guys want to call in, we're gonna take one more call. If I can get someone here in the next 2 minutes. If not, we'll wrap up. So call us up. The number is on the screen. 669-900-6833, and the code is 169. I just lost the code. What is the code? 169-861-119. Give me a call so we can talk, chat it up for a second. But
real quick, what do you think of Hex?
Oh man, did you hear when your boy called in?
I watched it for a little bit. I don't think I watched all of it.
I'm still not I don't see the need for it. I think it's just another. I'm not calling it a scam, but it's another project that has no real need to me, and I don't think we'll go ahead.
The need is, listen. He sort of has me sold. All right.
A couple of smart people have been saying that too. So let me hear what you have to say.
I mean, it's actually kind of brilliant because everyone is searching for yield in the world with these, artificially low interest rates all around the world. No one can find yield on their savings, right? You have to go into the stock market and buy Amazon and Apple at all-time highs, right? To get any yield on your savings.
Yes.
If you just put your savings in the bank, it's going to lose money. You're going to lose your money, right? Because inflation's running hotter and hotter every year. So technically, I mean, this is a good idea. And the way he's setting it up to the way he's launching this and everything is pretty it's legit, right?
How? Because here's my thing, really quickly before you finish. The thing about interest-bearing assets, you have, in order to generate interest, you, the person taking in the funds, have to go out into the market and do something risky to generate interest. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, I know what you're saying, but believe it or not, the savings you put in the bank, that stays there. They just get the bank takes out a loan against the deposit in the bank and could get this, right? Gets 10-1 on it. And where does that money come from? It comes from the Fed. That's called fractional reserve lending. So what Richard did is literally fractional reserve lending in crypto. Except it's a free market and it's done through code. It's a contract. All it is.
I gotta disagree with you on the whole bank thing, because if a bank is issuing a CD, right?
Right.
They're going out and purchasing debt, like government bonds, or they're doing something. I don't know exactly.
Well, no, they get money from the Fed. They could loan out 10-1 on your deposit, but
Yes.
it's not your deposit. It's not your deposit that's going out. That's illegal.
No, it is, bro.
No, you don't understand. No, you have to separate the both. All right. You put $10 into the bank, right?
Yep.
They keep the $10 in one bank account, and then the central bank will give the bank 10-1 on what the bank has in reserves. The reserves
Right.
stay
Okay.
there.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
reserves
okay.
never leave. They never leave.
Well, okay, yes,
then,
but technically, if they take those reserves they got from the Fed window and they go lend it out, it's the same as if they just took your money. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing. They took $9 and went out and lent it.
No, your money doesn't go anywhere. Your money is collateral. Do you understand? Your money that you put in the bank is collateral.
Yes, I do understand that.
You gave them $10, then the bank gets $100 printed out of thin air, and then they lend it out. Now, if the bank goes under, then the money you deposit in the bank is theirs because it's a credit on their books. But most people don't know that. But it is insured through the government, FDIC, right?
Your loan is when you deposit into the bank, it is on their books as a liability.
No, it's an asset.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you're right. It's a liability, but they also use it as a reserve and an asset to get more money. I mean, listen, what Hex is literally what the banking sector is.
Okay, so where does Hex?
So technically, it's a Ponzi scheme, right?
Okay,
listen,
but everything is a Ponzi scheme,
right?
Okay, I understand that. Pretty much everything is a Ponzi scheme for the most part.
Right. That's also why you can't have right. That's why you can't have a gold standard. If you had a gold standard,
no, you can't. No, I don't believe. I don't believe.
We never will, because the economy can't grow then. Because you need credit creation so people can get loans to build businesses, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So.
Yes, I agree. No, I totally agree with that. And this is why I'm not too convinced that Bitcoin will be the underpinning of a new economy either, because it restricts the government. If you have an asset that you can't,
it technically restricts.
They could rehypothecate Bitcoin.
I mean, you can make derivatives of anything, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
But my question is, so back to the Hex thing. So like you said, let's use your scenario where the bank goes to the Fed window, gets a loan on the money that's deposited, right?
Right.
And then they go out and lend that money at an interest rate higher than what they got from the Fed window.
Right.
Where is that mechanism in Hex? How does that? I don't understand. Who is he borrowing, or how? Where is that program borrowing money from?
It's locked up, and then the other loans are paid out. I don't know. What? I wasn't prepared for this. So I wasn't prepared for this, right? So
See what I'm saying, bro? I want to believe it. I just don't. It's so confusing.
well, no. The part that's confusing is the hearts, and then what happens is you lock up your hex, and that's how you get paid hex as interest, right? So where does the hex come from? It's minted. There is
That's
inflation.
fine.
There's
That's
inflation
fine.
in it, but the inflation isn't that high. Now, the first year is different. The first year is completely different because there's like I forgot, like 6 trillion being printed or some crazy number.
I mean,
So-
we don't have to get into the details. Just,
Right.
Just
It's-
conceptually, I'm trying to understand. So I thought about it. I'm like, the only way this thing is going to work is if people buy Hex with ETH. Because there has to be some skin in the game for it to work.
The only way this works is if the community keeps the hype going long enough. And then you have to have enough people doing this constantly where they're locking up their hacks for long periods of time, years and years, and the interest never goes away, right? Because it technically that's how it works. It would work.
This shit sounds like Big Connect, bro. Like Rob B said,
It does. No, it's
but the thing is,
like a Ponzi scheme. But it is it's no different than a CD. Because CDs are time deposits, right?
Somewhat.
I wish he would
Like
call in right now because I have some good questions for him, right? But
yeah, I don't know, man. Like, that's my biggest thing is like, if you're going to compare it to a CD, that's where you lose me. I understand it draws and bears, it generates interest like a CD.
right.
But what my disconnect is the behind the scenes mechanisms. They're not orange. It's not orange to orange.
Well, everything about it is pretty exciting. The way you use this lobby function, it keeps people like engaged so you don't get bored. You end up checking this thing like every day as your coins gain interest. You like seeing how many hex you could get for ETH, this and that. And then the marketing, right? I mean, he was the first asshole to get sued for mass spamming people on boner pills, I think. So he is an entrepreneur. He's good at marketing.
Absolutely.
And that's
I'm not
what-
putting anything
Now,
against him
right.
on that.
So that's probably what he's gonna use the ETH. Somehow he's gonna disperse it and it'll go to marketing. So that'll keep the hype going for years. The only question is this self-sustaining for the long run, for many, many years, right? It technically runs on Ethereum. He could always jump chains. The only question is the contract will work forever, for a long time. The contract will outlive us. So I can't see why it won't work. The only way it won't work is if nobody's interested in it. But if
This is another thing. When you have certain characters that start to come around, and I'm talking about Craig Grant and Trayvon.
Right, but the reason they like it is
his name Trayvon Martin, not Trayvon Martin, Trayvon
James. Right, and listen, you're gonna see Hex commercials on YouTube. Thinking that commercial.
See what I'm saying, dog?
Right,
come on, Laszlo.
Have you ever seen Amway or anything like that? It's just like that.
MLM.
Right? Yeah, and it's multi-level marketing, but not that bad. Not that bad. But listen, they do see how that type of marketing is the most effective marketing. All right. When I was young, I actually did Amway, believe it or not, and I made it.
Man, you know a question I should have asked your boy Hart. This is how you get to the point of things and really find out what's going on. I should have asked him, in what scenario does Hex fail?
Right.
I want to know that from him.
I know how it could fail.
Okay.
All right. Nobody gives a shit. Like basically nobody trusts it, and nobody and it doesn't get listed on exchanges. Basically, it just becomes a dead coin.
But the people people that use their Bitcoin to gain access to the Hex tokens,
right?
They don't lose anything, even if it stops working tomorrow.
Right, but what it does is
that's my problem.
But it sucks people in to the community, and then through the word of mouth and through the shill links, right? Mm-hmm. People will spread the word, and it creates an ecosystem, and it creates demand, and then people will look for this thing as a way to throw some savings into it and to gain some yield. As long as there's interest and growing interest over time deposits, over throwing some of your money into some sort of savings vehicle, because this is what this is. It's a financial instrument for a saving. It's a savings vehicle, right? Mm-hmm. Where you gain interest over years. And as long as people are looking for that and they actually trust Hex, basically, you just have to trust the code. You don't have to trust it. Richard Hart could die, and it's not going to matter. As long as the community keeps going with it. And
I guess my thing is, and I thought about this long and hard, pause, no homo. I was like, what is, like, if no one goes the other route by using Ether to buy the token, and they only use Bitcoin, then it's just going to be a gridlock, and it's just going to be a waste of time, and no one's going to ever make anything.
Right. And that's just right. So
right?
if you have some skin in the game, right, and
if you have skin in the game, that's different.
You put some ETH in there, then you're going to go out and talk about it. You're going to spread the word.
But why would you ever put ETH in when you can get it for free?
Oh, because you get a ton of Hex. So it's a speculative bet. Like right now,
man. And then like my man Cryptonomics said that they had one of his ex-coders. Did you see that interview where
no.
What's the redhead lady that's in crypto? I forgot her name.
I know what's her name. She makes like music videos or something.
Whatever. She interviewed him, and he was
Naomi.
Naomi, yeah. And he was going on about like how it was a scam or something. I didn't get the chance to watch the whole thing, and he left because.
Okay, here's the thing: as long as Richard doesn't take any of the ETH for himself,
he already did. The whatever you guys call the main wallet, it was emptied out.
Right, but you could track the coins. Where are they going?
I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
Why move them?
I don't think he's that okay. I don't think he's stupid enough to just take the ETH and run off.
That's what I don't understand.
People are going to go after him. Like he'll get found around the world. It's really hard to hide these days.
But that's what I don't understand. Like I feel like he's putting himself in harm's way, not with people, but with some other people. If you know what I'm saying.
Right.
That's
no, he is. He is.
Why though? Why would he do that? Like he's smart enough not to do that.
I thought he'd be smart enough not to touch him until after the first year. Until I don't want to call it what you know what I mean.
Yeah.
After the fun, not the funding. After this first year, right, where you could get Hex, right? I thought he would wait, right?
Yeah. This is gonna be interesting.
But like I said, I don't care what happens to him as long as the community keeps going with it.
How did you get your Hex? Did you go through Bitcoin or through ETH?
No, I just got a little bit of it, right? And I haven't done much with it.
No, I'm just saying, did you purchase through purchasing directly with ETH, or did you purchase by stake?
ETH.
Doing the Bitcoin thing. Okay.
ETH. I threw a couple ETHs at it, whatever. Okay. But I'm waiting for a better opportunity, like later in the year when interest falls off and then you might get a better opportunity to get a lot more hacks, right?
Gotcha.
It's a speculative thing to me. I'm not like throwing much at this, right?
All day. Yeah.
I just think if the community runs with it and they keep running with it for years and the crypto market goes back up into a bull market, then this damn thing might actually be worth a lot.
Oh, so Cryptonomics said
What did he say?
he said that 500 to 700 ETH was taken out of the Hex wallet, then moved to Binance and Bitfinex.
Really?
Oh man.
Oh man.
Landlord
I didn't
don't need
know
all that
that
money.
the wallet's coins were moved to an exchange.
If you kick my ass, I'm gonna kick yours back. I don't turn the other cheek.
I don't know, man.
Wait, 500 ETH isn't that much. many?
Maybe he meant 500
No, I think it was really only like 700.
700 ETH.
Yeah, all right. So it's going to get listed on those exchanges.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, that's not
Maybe.
much. That's not much. That's nothing. A couple $1,000, like who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, there's like
I agree with you, Christian.
there's like 20 million worth. Listen, I think I have an idea of what he's gonna do with it, right? With all that ETH, and if he does that, then he's fine personally, and it's good for the community, and it's good for the growth of the Hex. My question is, like, Richard seems scammy as all hell. He does, but he's also an entrepreneur, and he also calls out a lot of things that other people are afraid to call out.
That's what, and so that's what confuses me about the situation, because he is one of those cats that tells it like it is and points out some shady people in the game.
Right.
And
when
then,
it
I
benefits
turn around
himself.
and see this. I'm like, I'm confused.
I'm
dumbfounded.
This asshole, if he's rich, I mean, he doesn't need that. He doesn't need to sell any of the ETH that was for the Hex, right? He would pay out of his own wallet. I don't know. But it's funny.
Like you said, if it's just a couple, you throw a couple at it, see what happens,
Right. Like, guys, I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying I find it interesting, and it would be funny if it really worked out. So, if you throw some bones at it, some pocket change, it's not going to hurt. I mean, it all depends how much money you have, right? If you're poor, you probably shouldn't gamble with any of it.
That's the problem with these types of programs, because like you said, they attract people who are desperate. And that's what happened with BitConnect. I'm not comparing Hex to BitConnect, but you see what I'm saying? Like, attract these types of people that.
Yeah, but listen, Richard has a great argument for that.
Okay.
Why let all these poor people get scammed by real scammers when I could do it? Now, well, listen, but he believes in this. He believes in what he created, and I think he's really out to
Hey man, Craig Grant believed in BitConnect wholeheartedely.
Right.
Trayvon, whatever, believed it. I see it in his eyes. He really believed in it, man. I was sitting there thinking, like, what the hell is wrong with these niggas?
Richard's a smart guy. He is.
Yes.
And he pretty much put his life on the line with this thing.
That's what I don't understand. So
it's a real project. It really is. It's based on code. The way it launches, after all these scam ICOs and everything, it seems suspect. It does. His marketing, it seems suspect, but it works. Listen, it's real marketing. It is that works. All right. So I think it's a real
so he didn't take that much. They kind of over
they're over exaggerating.
They're over exaggerating how much they take.
And the fact that he spoke a lot of truth about the maximalists is really great and funny.
Yep.
And
you're OG. You're right, man. When I saw him talking out about, I'm like, yeah, this guy is real. He's a real one.
Right. He destroyed Tone, and that was hilarious. So yeah. I mean, he called out everyone, and I I give him I give him props for that. And you know what? I think it's a real thing that he's trying to build here. Will it be successful? Who the hell knows?
Well, no one knows. Yeah, business. There's risk whenever you go into business and you have an idea. My man Cryptonomics said Richard ain't that smart. I keep telling you guys this. No, he is. I'm telling you, he is. He is. He's smart.
He's smart, but if I got into a debate with him, I think I could hold up better than most. All right, I could call him out on a bunch of things, but I don't think I really think
he intimidates a lot of people, and that's what gives him additional aura, like, you know what I'm saying, in the crypto community, because he is able to talk down on a lot of people because they get intimidated by him.
Well, no, he just uses the Socratic method. So
right,
which is it's fine. He's read some books. I'll give it to him, but so have I. Like, anyways, but I really think he really believes in what he's building, and the way he built it is kind of clever, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't. And it really, and the fact that it scares the Bitcoin maximalists, I really enjoy it. And I hope it kind of, it's funny how he went from maximalist to doing this, and he's riding off the ETH. And he brings up a lot of good points about ETH, which I never actually dug into
what do you say?
myself.
What do you say about ETH?
Well, it is secure. I used to think it wasn't, but he kind of has me sold on that. Listen, I'm a trader. I don't look into this techie stuff. I really don't. So
is ETH secure? No, ETH is not secure at all. It lost over, I think in 2016, 17.
Oh, well,
18,
during the Dow, whatever.
No. After that, I'm saying in 18, it lost a lot of money from bugs in the contracts.
And they rolled back the chain because it's centralized. So Ethereum is a network to run things off of. Who cares if it's centralized? Well, I guess it could get attacked, but I don't know. I don't want to get into this. It's
all I'm saying is EOS 2.0 coming soon.
Oh my God!
You niggas better be ready. It's about to take over. Get ready, EOS.
I'm not big into EOS, but it's it might work out. It might work out. I don't know.
We'll see. I just had to do a quick shield. Real quick.
You know what's funny, right? You like EOS. Well, he's running that hex. I don't want to. What do I call it?
What?
The way it's coming into Inception.
Oh yeah. It's a Dutch style, right?
Right.
Isn't it Dutch style?
Brilliant. Right. It's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. That allows everyone to be able to get
right. And it's anti-whale, right? It is.
And that's what EOS did. Yeah.
Right. So
but again, my concern, and I guess we'll talk offline because I don't even want to put anything in the ether. No pun intended. But I'll explain to you offline why I have concerns about how he's doing it and going about things. But just for him, for his own well-being. So we'll see.
Right. I mean, he's a smart guy. I mean, he says some stupid things on some of the podcasts he shouldn't have said, but actually it's public knowledge. So technically, about tumbling and moving through exchanges and stuff. You know what I'm talking? Anonymity.
Yeah. What about it? I mean, what was he talking about, for Hex or for other?
Right. How to do it so you're anonymous.
Gotcha.
Which all the lawyers were like on Tone Vay's show, which is, I hate lawyers. They're all bloodsuckers.
They are.
Listen, it's your God-given
criminals.
It's your God. No, they are. They're bloodsuckers. They're just like accountants, right? They all lobby. They all lobby the Fed, and then they come out with more regulations, so they have jobs.
Yep.
They wouldn't have jobs if there weren't all these laws and crap. Anyways,
you know how easy we can make the tax code?
Oh God!
It literally could be at the end of the year. You just go online and click submit,
right?
And it tells you how much you owe.
Right. Just take, or how about a flat rate? Just a flat rate.
Or a flat VAT. Yeah.
Flat rate. Everyone equal all across the boards, whatever, and flat rate, and then everyone's happy. But no. Anyways, what I don't even know what I was talking about. Anyways, it's public knowledge, so I guess he knew that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was more. Yeah, it was like 7 million that was withdrawn from the hex.
7
7
million
million.
ETH?
$7 million worth of ETH.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
I did read that.
That's a lot. That's like half of it, or something like that. I don't
But
know.
it could be used to, like you said, get the coin on.
Right.
Exchanges.
He's not just no, not that. He probably can't do that either. But I don't want to put out expectations of this thing for his sake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've
Right.
been I've actually been pretty quiet on my opinion about it because
Right.
I like him.
Right.
I mean, he's an
Right.
asshole to many, but
Right.
like
I
said,
don't want to put out any expectations or anything because I don't know anything, guys. All right, I don't. So it's all we're just talking. All right, this is all speculation. I just all I just want to say is I think he created a lot of noise in the ecosystem, and it was funny. It was great. I loved it, and he has every right to make something. And I thought this was all about being libertarian. I thought this was all about freedom. And I thought, this
come
is all
on,
about
man. You know those days are gone. Come on now, Laszlo. You know those days in crypto are gone, bro.
Right. That's why I shit on the maximalists. I shit on everyone now. I just don't care. You know what? I just leave everyone alone and let them do their thing. Let everyone lose their money. Who cares? Everyone chooses their lives. Let it be. And just be smart about everything.
This is from Crypto Daily. 48,000 Ethereum empty from Hex flush address. Yeah, that's 7 million, man. Empty out.
All right, where'd it go? Just follow the blockchain. So it went to an exchange. Did it go to an exchange?
So this is on the 9th. This is what I reported on. Report suggests around 36 transactions ran out the rest of Ethereum, which had been sent to the Hex buy address. Let's see if it says anything about where it went. This comes after we previously reported this week that recycled Ethereum was supposedly being used by the Hex token to buy more tokens from the controversial cryptocurrency flush address. On the move throughout the ether, reports suggest that around 36 transactions ran out the rest of the Ethereum. It looks like where did it go though?
Well, I'm sure he addressed it or said something about it, but in the end, I mean, you shouldn't care. Of course, everyone does though, and I don't know if I was him, I wouldn't. do it.
I mean,
if I were him, I wouldn't do it. I would wait for the entire thing to be over. I'd wait a year, and then I don't know what happens to it, right? But
yeah, the only thing is if he's stealing from or not, I shouldn't say stealing because
he's not stealing.
He didn't put a gun to anyone's face, right?
You're minting your own coins when you stick the ETH in there.
Right.
That's how he's getting around all of this because you are running the code. You are running it.
Nah, I don't go with that, bro.
No, he created.
No, I'm not saying that you're not. I'm not saying that that's not the case. I believe that is the case. What I'm saying is, people, certain agencies, they make up their own.
Oh, mines. Yeah, I know. They don't give a shit.
What is what? They don't care what. I've seen so many ICOs say this ICO is not a utility token. I promise you, it's not a utility, and then they go down.
Right. I don't know. I'm sure he's like I said, that's his thing. If I was him, I just would have waited. But I don't know.
Well, all right. Any last words, man? Well, look at that. We got a caller just when I was getting ready to wrap up. Let's get this caller in really quickly.
What if it's Richard?
Oh, we got 10 pound. I didn't even see 10 pound on. Sorry, 10 pound. I didn't even see you on here. Call on the line. Who's checking in with us tonight?
Yes, it's Richard.
Nah, it ain't Richard. I know Richard. Richard's called in. I know it ain't Richard. That sounds like a brother calling in. That don't sound like Richard.
Yeah, you clean it up. You know, I'm not black now. No, we're not black. It's 2020. We're no longer black. No. No, but
That's
no,
funny.
I
What's
remember
going
back,
on, man?
man. Back in, I'm gonna tell you the story about Hex. Hex. It was a coin called. It was a coin called Hextra coin. Back like around 2017, 2016, like 2000. On the whole Big Connect hype, and I bought into it with some little sponsor, a promoter on YouTube, Aaron St. Hilaire. He was promoting Big Connect, Coin, Hextra Coin. It's one of those lending platforms, man. I invested like 20,000 in this. I was a novice then.
Oh wait, hold on. How do you spell that?
Hextra, HEXTRACOIN, Hextra Coin.
Why would you do that though?
Okay.
Man, I was a novice then. I didn't know nothing about.
Same reason.
Listen,
You didn't put that much in, but
Oh, come on. You can't be
I was
that
gonna say
novice. That's your fault.
I was gonna say,
well, look.
Go ahead.
I got suit, man. I put that money in there, and I was getting my little payments every day, my little interest payments. I was taking it out, sending it to the exchange, and buying up other coins. And man, next thing you know, it was an exit scam. But before then, I had a coin feeling like, damn, this shit it's a hex. That's a Hextra coin. That shit sounds familiar. Hex. So I
Put a
just
hex
Googled
on
it.
your ass. That's what it put a hex on your wallet. That's what it did.
Well, I think the hex stands for I think it stands for like transactions, like the hash rate. That's why, and it's short,
Hex
so it's
code,
good for
like,
marketing.
You know, with coding, you got the hexadecimal, the hex code or whatever. Yeah.
You're right. That's why I think you guys
So what-
know how BitConnect worked, right? They promised that they promised returns first of all, and then they said that they have this trading algo supercomputer or something that could guarantee profits.
Oh
And
yeah, when you see those, and actually it's funny because this have you guys heard of, and let me know because I'm putting this out tomorrow probably. This company hit me up and wanted me to do a review, and I gave an honest review of it. They probably didn't like that, but I gave an honest review of it's called God, what is it called? I'll keep talking, man. I'm gonna find out what it's called because I
mean, you should always give an honest review.
Well, I do, but
Right.
You know, I don't find too many people talking about Cardano like that. Only person I keep talking about Cardano is Chico Crypto, and he's always bashing it. And I just
it's
think
no
that's
good
just
to me. What do you think about Cardano?
I liked it when it first came out, right? But I don't know. I stopped caring.
Oh yeah, stop caring.
Oh,
Everybody stop caring about Cardano.
BitSonar. Have you heard of that?
BitSonar?
Uh-huh.
No.
Okay. Well,
BitSonar. BISONAR.
yeah, but it's kind of like that whole. They got an AI algo that trades and returns profits. But I would steer clear of any. To be honest, I would steer clear of anything like that. So, but
Okay. Good talking to you. You and Laz. Good talking to you.
Thanks for the call.
I follow both of your channels, so you know.
Oh, great.
I always stay all day.
Oh, that's
Y'all
what's
have
up,
a good
man.
Thanks,
Okay,
man.
man. Take care. Yep.
All right.
All right, let's get 10 Pound in here real quick, and we'll wrap up after that. 10 Pound, what's good, man? Don't come on here talking nonsense now, man.
Yo, all right, straight up, since you said that, Cardano is federated trash. Real talk.
Oh, well,
Hey,
we can agree on something today.
I know, right?
Look
What's
at
up?
that.
Hey, dude, it is what it is. But also, BSV, not the real Bitcoin. But yo, seriously, those gains though. Like, I'm holding it. I don't even want to hold it. I don't even want it to exist.
But those gains.
I know, right, dude? It flipped Bcash. I can't believe it.
I wish I would have been dumb enough to have some BSV. Right now.
Bro, but yo, you don't got a legacy account? You don't got a legacy wallet? Like, if you got a legacy wallet that you're holding,
I don't know if I gotta go claim it though, don't I?
Mm-hmm, yeah, you do. Yep.
Oh, I need to go check and see if I can claim some of them chips.
Dude.
Okay. I don't know how much. You know what? I don't have much Bitcoin. Bitcoin constitutes maybe like 10%, 15% of my portfolio.
Okay, nice. So yeah, you're hedged around. You're actually going long on the asset class, not just the store of value.
There you
good
go.
on you.
Yeah, blockchain. Yep.
Likewise, I feel it. I mean, but still, I'm a minter, so I got in like minting like real quick. I'm not even trying to like cash out because like I'm not here to play the whole game, dude. Like I'm going long.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But nonetheless, I feel it. Like, are you going in with like proof of stake mechanisms? Like, what exactly it constitutes like the majority of your portfolio? What's your one big pick?
If you want it, so it's in the proof of stake family, but it's in particular, DPoS.
Okay. Yep.
So I'm into heavily EOS. That's a heavy coin that I got.
Nice. Have you ever heard of Emanate?
No.
Tezos? Okay, well, Emanate. All right, that's what's up. Yeah, you got nice picks, man. So, also, Emanate is built on Ethereum, not Ethereum, EOS. So, it's actually merging with a token that was on Ethereum to acquire a large user base of about 20,000 artists. I know you're into music and whatnot. So, yeah, they've got a lot of indie musicians, and they're also trying to acquire some major contracts with, outlets that are doing promotion and distribution of artists, such as outlets like TikTok, Spotify, platforms like that. They're going to be integrating EOS with those platforms and paying out and settling all royalties and transactions on blockchain. It's emanate.live.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
It's in alpha right now,
Okay, Laszlo, what are your picks right now? Like, what bags are you in right now?
I mean, I have a lot of bags from back in the day, but I haven't even looked at them in like a year and a half, 2 years. But I did buy in a few weeks ago in the Bitcoin and Ethereum because I saw that I was gonna possibly go back up.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. We're above the 20-week moving average, for the first time since May of 2019. So,
I mean, it's I think the halving, and that was another topic that I was going to talk about. The halving, I think, effect is starting to kick in. I personally think so.
It is, dude, because the halving is happening in less than 16 weeks from now. So,
right.
It just makes sense for investors to price it in.
There was a huge inverse head and shoulders from the 6,500 area, and that's why I bought in. It was just a perfect buy. And then now it's broken out of that downward trend channel. So the next resistance, we've actually just hit it, which is the 200-day moving average, which is around 9,000, right? So once we break above that, then the next major resistance is at the 61.8 fib retracement at 10,200.
Nice.
On Bitcoin. Yeah, I think Ethereum's gonna this time perform very well with Bitcoin.
Likewise. In fact, we're up on the Satoshis, and BTC dominance is diminishing a little bit on this rally. So.
What is Hex doing?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter for like a year, right? Until it's over with the you being able to get millions of Hex for like ETH. So it doesn't matter. The price doesn't matter. But why do you guys like EOS so much? I don't.
You got it. It's on a technical. It's going to be from a technical standpoint. That's why you got to look at it from a technical. People aren't looking at it the proper way. EOS is literally like it's going to be the first mainstream decentralized operating system. That's what it is. Just think of it as an operating system.
For what?
It is.
For running programs on, but it'll be decentralized.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Ethereum with a virtual machine in the cloud. It's a distributed machine, but it's ran on proof of stake instead of proof of work.
Well, delegated proof of stake. There is a difference.
Stake.
But
yes, there is a major difference.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, not only that, though, like you said, the virtual machine, it's a multi-thread. 2.0 is, and so that's going to allow throughput like games to run fully on the network. Like I'm talking about big games or big dApps like Voice.com that's rolling out soon. So it's gonna be robust, man.
It's a giant database. Like
it's a giant operating system.
Well, here's the thing. If you think about it, all blockchains are is a network and a database put together at the same time. Like it's really, when it comes down to it, it's just the way that EOS is operating. They distribute RAM and CPU power amongst the wallets. So in order for you to make a wallet, you actually have to stake funds to create that wallet. And what you're really doing is buying power in a virtual cloud operating system. So yeah, that's how it operates. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, there are great big games that are running on Ethereum too, with the ERC 1155 protocol, I believe, through the Engine coin.
Oh yeah, I heard about Engine.
Dude, it's great stuff that they're doing, man. Like they got games on Steam already. Gabe Newell's platform that did Half-Life and whatnot.
But can it handle? Ain't nobody playing the games right now. That's the thing. Like if we have another 2017 right now, EOS would freeze up. I mean, Ethereum would freeze up, would lock up, and it wouldn't be able to handle it. Listen, I'm just thinking that I'm going for the project that has the potential to scale right now, and it's EOS.
Why can't it scale? Because none of them can.
No. EOS can definitely scale. EOS can definitely.
EOS can, especially as when 2.0 rolls out fully. It
sounds like Hashgraph.
It's a distributed hash table. That's practically what DPoS is. So
yeah, Hedera Hashgraph is a little bit different. It's much different actually. I'm interested in that technology too. I like those cutting edge type of implementation of blockchain.
Byteball is great too. Byteball works on DHT as well.
Okay.
And Holochain is working DHT as well. Lots of Hashgraph projects running in the pipelines,
some
man.
Hashgraph, yep. So it's exciting, man, and that's what I'm banking on. Not so much Bitcoin, man. Though that is going to be the future. As far as
from
utility
standpoint,
standpoint, right?
But
Bitcoin is not going anywhere. But
the problem with crypto is there's no adoption. Like there's no marketing. There's none to the public.
I disagree. I completely disagree. I'm involved in many communities where they have like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of users.
No, I know hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
bro.
Hundreds of thousands of users, not millions of users. Like, come on, man. Facebook has billions of users. All right, they dwarf.
What project got 100,000 users? You know of?
All right. So Dan Larimer, the CEO of Block One. Yeah, he created Steam. EOS. Oh. Well, yeah, he created Steam. Steam had.
Steam doesn't have 100,000.
Yeah, at its peak, it had 100,000 active users and active wallets. Yeah.
Basically, everything depends on Bitcoin's price going up to bring in more adoption.
Yep.
Literally.
For the most part.
Well, is it a problem? Because it might not be, right?
It's not a problem.
I think it is.
Well,
agreed.
Right? As long as the price goes back up, it's not a problem.
But that is a problem because what if Bitcoin doesn't perform, or the market doesn't look at Bitcoin like we want it to, and they don't really gain the Bitcoin doesn't gain the attention of Wall Street or whatever to make it go higher.
Bitcoin's only purpose is a store of value.
That's it. I agree. So what I'm saying though is, let's say we never have that financial black swan event, right?
Oh, we will.
I know, but I'm just hypothetically speaking, right? If it doesn't come, okay, let's say it doesn't come for the next 5 years. That means that we can't grow in blockchain because we're waiting for Bitcoin to go to the moon because we're waiting on a financial crisis to occur.
Right. Well, that's what I'm trying to say is these companies or these blockchains, they have to go out there and do marketing and all kinds of things to bring in mass adoption, and they have to be scalable. And they have to work in the real world, right?
Steve C on out there makes a very good statement. He says EOS equals social gaming, high transaction output, low value. ETH equals high value DeFi. I can see that.
Well, but there's the thing that he's missing is the fact that Ethereum 2.0, when it hits and Plasma is implemented, literally it's going to be scaling at an exponential rate, and there will be, distributed applications on top of the network that span way further past the scope of DeFi and, just value implementation.
All right, listen, I'm going to be real. If something is efficient, and it's more efficient than any centralized thing out there right now, then yeah, it's going to get a mass adoption. The problem with blockchain is it's hard to be efficient on it, right?
Yeah.
I disagree. I disagree to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent.
See, it comes down to learning and having your due diligence to, learn about what the technology is capable of and how to make sure that you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's to make sure that you're not getting robbed or that you don't send funds to the wrong address and you have all your coins lost in the ether. So, you just got to be trained, really. You can't just be some fucking John, man.
John, funny?
No, John, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at John. John Hill said Ethereum 2.0 in 2050. That's how I feel, man. That's exactly how I feel. 2050 is when we'll see Ethereum 2.0, bro. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Nah, I can't say that. I will say, let's say 2023. But consensus is saying Q4 2020.
Wait, didn't they just do something? Ethereum just did something big, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They forked. They did a hard fork.
Back to back.
Yep.
Right.
And they were prepping. What they did was they delayed the Ice Age. So now that they could work further more on, making sure that Ethereum isn't going to crash.
Right.
That transactions aren't going to be frozen. And the entire network ecosystem still operates while they're implementing Ethereum 2.0.
So you're telling me you could play CryptoKitties?
You can play more than CryptoKitties. There's so many.
You can play CryptoKitties right now because nobody's using. No one's using these blockchains like that.
All right. What about Somnium Space, where you could buy a plot of land and literally host events on that plot of land in VR? Not only have events on VR, but also record your own virtual hologram that can lead to a treasure trove of private keys for your offspring. What about applications like that, which people are using to this day, and Sony and Oculus are on board with as well? And that's Ethereum. That's not EOS. That's Ethereum. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, I'm not convinced yet, bro.
You know what's funny? You know what I've noticed? A lot of the big companies say they're using blockchain to make their companies more efficient. Meanwhile, the real blockchains, the private sector ones, the projects like EOS and that, they're way ahead of these big 500 Fortune companies. So they're lying. Like you see the commercials. I think it's kind of ironic, right? They always talk about AI. There's no real AI yet. There's no AI. It's just algorithms, right?
No. I've been studying AI, bro. That deep learning stuff is real. There are some real, Alexa runs on deep learning AI, man. This stuff is
right.
Don't short sell it. Bro. There's IBM Watson as well too.
Right. It can learn, but it's programmed to pick certain things up. It doesn't. No. AI means it could self-program itself into something else.
Yeah, there is the AI that are doing that right now.
You gotta look at go search Open AI, Laszlo. And you'll see what I'm talking about.
That's Elon Musk's brainchild right there.
Oh God, dude, he's the biggest fraud.
All right, so here's the thing. Not only that, you're using a computer to communicate with us right now, dude. Your motherboard has an AI, very narrow general intelligence AI that's literally controlling.
It's not self-programming.
It's not self-programming, but it's literally controlling the voltage of your CPU, your gold-plated CPU.
But it's not
allowing you to.
I don't think that's AI though.
That's AI. That's narrow general intelligence.
Listen, man, I don't even want AI. Like, we don't need that.
Dude, we need it for computers to work very efficiently. How do you think these RAM systems and these hard drives, SSDs, are actually working in a symbiotic way and in a highly efficient way, faster than we could possibly even comprehend right now? I mean, sure, our brains are operating much faster when it comes down to the processing power. I mean, it's in comparison, but still, these machines are far more powerful than the machines that they use to launch a rocket into space and get the man on the moon. We have phones that are pushing the amount of processing capability of a laptop from 2015. So like AI is powering all of this in the background, and people just don't realize it.
So I just dropped a link and I always go back to this to just illustrate to people the power and how far ahead EOS is compared to other blockchains. And this site really illustrates it so that people can really see the real value that's going on these blockchains right now, the utility value of it. And I mean, EOS is doing 62 million operations a day. And then, I hear people, they'll say, well, a lot of that is bots or it's spam, spam traffic. Okay, let's say it is. What it's illustrating here is that it can handle these types of network capacities. And this is before EOS 2.0. So,
I don't know, I just have one comment on the AI. Have you ever seen that movie Elysium? Or how about RoboCop? Like, I don't want any of I'm just being honest.
With the Terminator?
Man,
yeah.
I'm like Elon Musk when it comes to that. Like, I'm very concerned about AI.
I think.
Yeah, but he's building it, right?
Yeah, he is. Not only that, he's considering us to be the biological bootloader. There are billionaires that have actually sacrificed themselves to become completely symbiotic.
Listen,
AI,
just like Richard Hart, right? Once you have a lot of money, you want to live much longer.
Hell yeah, that's heaven on earth, baby.
That's what they're all into. That's what
heaven on earth.
Yeah, for them.
I mean, like, if you could just like merge with the machine.
I don't want to merge with any machine.
No, that's what Elon Musk wants to do. That's what all these other.
Let me tell you how
they want to control it.
You know how
he even said it with Joe Rogan. He said it on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, and they're also doing all kinds of crazy drugs. Like, listen, you don't want electronics in your body because the electromagnetic radiation that comes out of them is just going to give you cancer. You'll just die. It's not organic.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, if you put a laptop on your lap, it'll heat your junk up like a microwave.
Dude, yeah. I've done way worse. Like, I've actually experienced, like, the electromagnetic radiation from a Bluetooth device as wearable technology. That's like, controlling frequencies, waveforms, sending MIDI signals and triggers. And it feels great. It feels, at first, it's kind of like, shocking. Like, you feel like a vibration, an unnatural vibration sensation, and then like you just get used to it. It's kind of ridiculous.
People are working 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week to some third job.
Future, man. That's all I can say about it. Anyway, it was a great conversation. Thanks for having me on.
All right, I'll holler at you.
Yeah. Peace out.
All right, man. Well, I guess we can wrap up for tonight, Laszlo. Appreciate you coming on. Oh, I want to let people know where they can get in touch with you. So just kind of give people that rundown real quick. I'm going to bring your website up, and you can give them your Twitter and everything.
Just go on YouTube and type in MMG Invest. I have 2 channels. You'll find me.
All right. That's how you can catch him, guys. Does a great TA work. And,
hey, we'll do this again if Wright could move a coin or something. How about that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, we definitely have to jump on if that happens.
Right.
All right, people. Well, again, thank you for joining us tonight. Kind of a off the cuff one. I wanted to just kind of get someone on, and I hit up Laszlo, and he was available. So glad he was able to come on tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, all that good stuff. And
fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Peace.
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Okay.
stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash.
We are.
Steam pot, heat rock, slingshot. Surfing through the city while them chips rise. Hot